and welcome back. Today I am doing for you a big chatty get ready with me life update video. I just felt like I needed to do one of these before I get back into like makeup content because it just felt like too much had happened in the interim where I, have not really been filming. I've put up a couple of videos here and there, but a lot has happened. As you will have seen from my last video, I am now a married woman. Yeah, I just thought I could put some makeup on my face, get ready with you guys and talk you through everything that has been going on and catch you up, because it's not just been the wedding. I feel like the last few months a lot has been happening in my life in general, all positive stuff, and I just felt like it would be a good chance to catch you up. And then I feel like everything is like off my chest, and because it's weird to film stuff when you know like there's loads of other stuff going on in your life that you're like not sharing on camera. Grab a drink or a snack because it's probably going to be a little bit of a long one, and I will leave all the products listed down below. I'm not going to talk through them. I'm just going to do a very easy daytime makeup look. It's not going to be anything fancy, but just products that I have been using and loving recently. So yeah, if you're interested in what anything is, check the description box. But yeah, other than that, I hope that you are all keeping well, and let's chat. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to use, I am actually going to mention because this is a new purchase and I'm liking it, but I'm not sure if I'm like loving it yet. So I wanted to know if any of you guys had tried it and what your thoughts were, because I've seen really good reviews. It's the Iconic London Radiance Booster, and this is in the shade Shell Glow. So this is supposed to be very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter highlighter product thing that you put on your skin. It's like basically like a glowy primer, but you can mix it in with foundation as well. This is supposed to be similar, but I'd seen a couple of people, I think Kelly Gooch and also Hannah Renee, I'm big fans of them on YouTube, and they both use this and they both separately said that they are really loving it and that it's great for summer and that it has a tiny bit more coverage than the Charlotte Tilbury one, so they actually prefer it and they think it's easier to wear on its own. I do really like it, but like I say, I'm not 100% sold. I kind of feel like it doesn't do a ton, but I do already have quite glowy skin just from like the moisturizer and the sunscreen that I use, so I just feel like it kind of doesn't add a lot to it, and I also always use like glowy base products, foundation, concealer, that kind of stuff. So yeah, curious to know if any of you guys have tried this product and what you thought of it. But it is really nice. If you've ever used like the Becca one, or I mean any other glowy primers out there, really it's pretty similar, but it does kind of have a bit of coverage, so I tend to work it into the skin quite well, but I wouldn't say it's a tinted moisturizer coverage. Okay, right, I'm gonna stop avoiding the question. Let's chat wedding stuff. I obviously did post my bridal makeup, the video before this, so if you are interested in what I wore on my wedding day for my makeup, go and check out that video. I go into a lot of detail about like techniques and products I use. We got married on the 9th of July. So we got married at Willington Hall in Cheshire. It's about an hour's drive from where we live, so it's a little bit of a journey, but we made sort of a weekend out of it, and it was really nice to have all my family there staying with us, and Adam's family as well staying in the hotel with us. So we had like a 2-night stay at the hotel, and then all of our friends and other guests came for the daytime on the Saturday. So we had about 70 guests. We had an amazing day. It was bright, glorious sunshine. We did have an outdoor ceremony. Yeah, that was kind of like what I wanted from the start, and Adam was on board as well. But Adam, throughout the whole process, was pretty easygoing. I am one of those people who have had an idea of what I want to do for my wedding since I was about 12. So thankfully he didn't have that many opinions, and obviously I tried to like make sure if he did have an opinion then we could work that in, or make sure that we were doing stuff that we both liked. But for the most part he kind of let me get on with it and sort out what I wanted to do, which I was very grateful for. When we were choosing venues, we were picking venues during the pandemic, so it was quite challenging because you couldn't go and visit anywhere because we were in full lockdown. So this was like kind of beginning of 2021 that we were venue searching. Basically, I used this app called Bridebook. There's a few apps out there. There's like Hitched, there's a few different ones, but I found Bridebook was very, very helpful because it would give you like loads and loads of suppliers on there that you could search through depending on what type of wedding you wanted. So not just for venues, but florists, photographers, music, like anything you wanted, you could just put into the search bar and it would come up with a load of options, and then you could send like email requests for quotes directly from the app, and then you can take it offline and take it off the app if you want after that, once you've started communication with them. But it was just really easy to like find people and start those conversations going. So I was looking through Bridebook for venues and this one came up. And obviously we couldn't go and visit at the time, but I knew from the pictures that it was very close to what I wanted. So my like vision for the wedding was, originally growing up, I had always wanted to get married in my like family home. We had a beautiful garden and I really wanted to have like a garden wedding. Probably at that point would have got married like in a church, because there was a church just around the corner. I grew up in a small village. I don't know why, because I'm not religious, but that was just kind of always what I envisioned, getting married in the church, then coming through to our ceremony like round the corner from that church in the garden of my home. And sorry, not the ceremony, the reception. So we would have like the party and stuff in my garden. So I couldn't do that because long story short, you know, my parents don't have that home anymore. My parents are separated now, so we don't own that house and it's not an option. I had a very clear vision of what I wanted, and I wanted to have a garden area with really nice views and like feeling very intimate, but also like a lot of flowers, a lot of like English. The theme was English country garden. This was what I was looking for when I was searching for venues. Quite a specific ask, but when I found this particular venue, like from the photos, it looked really, really perfect, and we kind of just booked a Zoom tour. Well, it was over FaceTime actually. So that was all we could do. We couldn't go and see it, and then we really, really liked it from the FaceTime pictures that we had seen and videos that we'd seen. So we decided to like go ahead and say book our date in, and then basically we just like went from there. We went to visit it when we could, and at that point we had paid like a holding fee, but we could have got it fully refunded if when we saw it in person we didn't like it. So that was kind of like all the logistics side of it. It was quite complicated just because of the pandemic, but thankfully the first time we went to see it, it was the only venue we actually viewed, because we kind of put all our eggs in this basket thinking like we really like it, but obviously it seemed to like tick the boxes that I was looking for. Adam loved it as well, and then when we went to view it, we were just hoping that it was kind of how we had pictured it would be. It was amazing. Like the setting of our venue was perfect. Like it couldn't have embodied my vision of my wedding more if I tried. Like it was just absolutely perfect. It was like rolling fields around the like hotel, and then it's got the most beautiful garden as well. And obviously when we got married in July, it was all in bloom, and we had a lot of flowers, because that was the other thing that I really wanted to emphasize, was flowers everywhere. Just like English country garden, teeming flowers, like lots of hydrangeas, lots of greenery around it, and then like these purpley lilac colors, because that's my favorite color. So that was like my vision for the whole color palette, and yeah, bringing like all the flowers to life. It only has 12 rooms, our venue, so it's quite a small, intimate hotel. It's not a massive hotel, which was perfect for us, but it did mean that a lot of our guests couldn't stay over. It meant that we could have more of an intimate setting, because it meant that we basically had the run of the whole place, because our whole families were staying in the hotel and we were the only guests because we filled the whole hotel. There was no one else staying there. It was in a very remote location, so you know, we hadn't actually booked the whole hotel, but because we were the only ones staying there, it was effectively how it worked out. It all came together really, really well. As I say, I did like put a lot of emphasis on the flowers, so we didn't have any other decorations. It was all flowers, really, really big floral centerpieces on the tables, a huge like wreath that they actually moved from the ceremony as well over to the top table when we had the meal. So the getting ready process was really fun. We had, so I was staying in the bridal suite the night before, and then that's where we also got ready. So I used, I obviously did my own makeup, so we didn't have a makeup artist, but we had an amazing hairstylist called Michelle. I will leave her links below because she was unreal. Like, I was so happy with how everyone's hair looked. She had a big task ahead of her because our ceremony was quite early. It was at 12 p.m, so she had to do 8 bridesmaids and my hair and my mum's hair. She did have an assistant, but it was a lot to do, so I was really, really grateful for how hard she worked, and I just thought it looked like all the bridesmaids looked stunning. And for Bridesmaids Dresses, I actually ordered them from ASOS, so I really recommend, if you're looking for bridesmaids dresses, check ASOS because they have so many options, so many colours. And I actually gave my bridesmaids 2 options. They were both quite floaty and chiffony, and they were the exact same material, but they just had different necklines. So one was a bit more strappy with more of like a V-neck, and then the other one was more of like a high neck, not a halter neck, but kind of like different cut straps and stuff. Yeah, really recommend ASOS. They have, like I say, they have so many options, and the quality was really, really good of the dresses. And they always restock all the different sizes and stuff. They're very regularly restocking. Yeah, so Michelle did obviously a trial for my bridal hair a few months before the date. I went through her Instagram and had a look at like other bridal hair that she had done, and then I saw one that I really liked, and I said, basically, I just want something like that. And she basically recreated that on me, and yeah, I had no notes. It was like perfect. I think sometimes, you know, she can go through a few hairstyles with brides, like trying to figure out what they wanted, but I had quite a clear picture. That's the one thing with me, is I'm quite decisive, and when I know what I want, I don't really deviate from that. So it was the same thing with the flowers. Like, I showed my florist photos of the style of flowers that I wanted and everything, and then I was really clear with like the colours and everything, and I had a few meetings with them, and then they just like pulled it all together on the day, and it was perfect. Like, it couldn't have been more what I envisioned. So I think I was very lucky in that just everyone that I worked with was really on the ball, really quick, really like good at communication. Only people we had problems with in terms of suppliers was the agency that we used to book the music through. So not the actual DJ itself. They were fine, but we couldn't have any communication with them before the event. We had to go through the agency that we had booked the music through, and the communication with them was shocking. Like, they just would not, they basically would not communicate with us, which was quite frustrating in the lead up to the wedding. So that was really the only issue that we had. Photographer was great. Again, I wanted a very specific style of photos, so I wanted it to be very artistically shot, and shot from kind of like a lot of candid shots, a lot of like you wouldn't really know the photographer was there, he's just kind of around in the background, but then obviously we did want like the family group shots and stuff as well. One thing I did forget to say about the venue actually is that the food was out of this world. They have an amazing chef there, and when we booked it we weren't really sure if the food was gonna be great, but just because you never know what you're getting at weddings, I think. But when we went to the food tasting just before, you know, a few weeks before the date, it was oh my god, incredible. And on the day as well, you know, for feeding a room of 70 people, the quality of the food was outstanding. So really recommend that venue for food. And also the wedding planner there we dealt with. I say we didn't hire an individual wedding planner, but the venue had its own like wedding coordinator for the day. So he helped us like arrange everything for the day and made sure that we knew everything we needed to organise for the day itself. And like there's a lot of logistics that go into it for the venue, so he organises all that side of things. He was also great. He was really, really on it, and recommend him as well. And then the dress, I haven't spoken about the dress yet. We got my dress from a shop called Emma Louise Bridal, which is based in Bolton, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that shop just for the like shopping experience alone, because when you go in, it's like so beautifully laid out. There, it's a lot bigger than it looks on the outside. It's like a bit of a TARDIS inside. They've got like 3 or 4 rooms, I think, or maybe 2 big rooms with all the different dresses on display. I worked with a girl called Kate there. She was amazing, and she helped me. She pulled like different options basically from what I had said I wanted, and my main thing was like I wanted something probably quite A-line, that I felt comfortable in, that wasn't too low cut, because I don't really wear a lot of low cut things. I just wanted to feel like myself in it. I wanted to feel comfortable all day, because I wanted to wear the same dress all day and really like make the most out of the dress. So I didn't want to feel too like figure hugging or like uncomfortable or like not myself in the dress. So she did an amazing job, and the dress that I found was like me down to a T. I absolutely loved it, and I felt amazing in it. And yeah, I had like the full length veil as well to go with it. So highly, highly recommend them. And then I used a shop called Magic Stitches, which they recommended for alterations. They were also amazing. The guy there that runs it is really, really attentive, and he really knows what he's doing. It literally fit like a glove when he was done with it. So, I mean, we had a lot of time as well. So from getting engaged to getting married, it was about 18 months, probably. A bit over that. So we did have quite a lot of time to plan. We didn't start booking anything, like I say, until early April 2021. There was a lot to do still for us, even though we had that amount of time. And it was still stressful at times, just making sure that everything was arranged and we hadn't forgotten anything. And you know, there's a lot of admin. There's a lot of wedding admin to do. But like I say, that app Bride Book is very good, because it will actually tell you, if you put in your wedding date, what you need to do and when. So it will say like, okay, in March you need to send out your invites. So that means in January you need to have like started finding your invites and started the design process, and you can actually tick it off when you've done it. So it's really good to have that laid out in like timings wise, to give you a little bit of an idea right at the beginning of the process, like how long you need to start thinking about everything. I'm really sorry, I know that was like all over the place. I feel like I've just like done a massive brain dump of like everything to do with the wedding. Yeah, if you were interested in knowing like who we used for anything, then hopefully that is helpful. Do let me know any questions down below, but I'm not gonna keep talking about the wedding after this. This is like the last wedding chat video that you will see from me. So if you're not into weddings, then don't worry, there's no more coming, because I know that can be really frustrating when you're just like not interested in the slightest in people getting married and that's all they talk about. So yeah, don't worry, this is it now. This is me brain dumping my wedding word vomit onto you, and then we're done. I will be sharing stuff on my Instagram, however. Once we get our professional photos, I will be sharing those over there. Okay, so I'm going to use a bit of this Glossier palette. I haven't used this in a while. This is in the shade Almond, and I'm just gonna I've been taking this really shimmery shade and just pressing it all over the lid recently, and I'm really liking how it looks. And then I do also take a bit of the matte in the crease sometimes, so I'll see how I feel today. But yeah, in terms of like everything else that's been happening, like I say, it has been quite a busy few months obviously mostly because of the wedding, but there has been other stuff going on as well. So actually in June I was promoted at work, so I was able to kind of move up in the team that I'm currently in. So I'm still working in social media. I was really, really excited and happy to be able to kind of take that career move forward, and I'm still learning and things, and like trying to figure out the best way to manage that and manage my new role, and make sure that everything that is expected of me is happening and stuff like that. When you make any kind of big life change like that, whether it's in a wedding or whether it's at work, there's just always like stuff that comes with it, like that is just taking up a lot of brain capacity, and you know, I'm wanting to make sure that I'm living up to that new role and the responsibilities that come with it. So there's been quite a lot going on in the background with that. And then we did also, a few weeks after our wedding, Adam's sister also got married, so we had that as well a couple of weeks ago, which was again an amazing day. Once we were done with our wedding, we went away for a few days, like had a little bit of a break in the countryside, just me and Adam, and then when we got back it was kind of like all things go for their wedding. So yeah, there's just been like a lot of like life things happening, and then in between all these big life events has been like catching up with house stuff and catching up with stuff that's, you know, just like normal life admin that you have ongoing all the time. So there's been quite a lot. And then the other big thing that we are currently going through is we are progressing with buying a house. So we are kind of going through that process at the moment. I don't want to say too much because, as you know, these things are never, I'm sure a lot of you realise, but these things are never like completely certain until you get the keys. At least in England, that's how it works. Like things can fall through at the last minute. So we are still not out of the woods in terms of that, but we're pretty far down the process in purchasing this house now. So I'm hoping that things do come off and like go as we plan, and then hopefully we will be moving in the next 6 to 8 weeks, I'm hoping. So I kind of wanted to put that out there, that there might be like quite a gap again in uploads, just like when we move and go through all of that, because again there's a lot of admin to do for that and a lot of stuff to organise, so that will be quite a big life thing. But yeah, it's really, really exciting. Like it's very close to where we live now. We do really like the house that we're in now, but we are renting, and as you know, with renting, like you never, well for us at least, we never really wanted to invest a lot of money into like doing up this house because it's not our house. A, we need to get permission anyway to do it, but also B, we're then like investing in someone else's property for them, and that doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense when we could buy our own house and then invest in that and, you know, make money ourselves off that investment. So we've never really got this house exactly to how we would want it to be if we owned it. Yes, we're kind of moving ahead with that. So I feel like this year has just been a massive year for growth and personal growth and personal goals. And yeah, I'm looking forward to moving so that then we can just like rest for a little bit. We do have our honeymoon booked in October. So the next big thing other than the house move is going to be going on that trip. So we're actually off to Mauritius, which will be very, just a really, really nice like beach holiday for 2 weeks. It's in the middle of the Indian Ocean, so I am going to be on a sun lounger in the shade as much as I can, but probably slightly in the sun as well. Yeah, I cannot wait to have like proper 2 weeks rest and relaxation. So we're very excited for that. And yeah, then just in terms of like my videos and stuff moving forwards, obviously it is going to be a little bit up in the air over the period when we are moving, just because we'll have to move and get set up in the new place and stuff. So yeah, I don't expect there to be tons and tons of videos over that period. I will try and film as much as I can, and then I have seen a lot of discussion on people's social media and stuff that I follow on YouTube about if everyone's leaving YouTube and like YouTubers aren't making content anymore because they're going over to TikTok, and TikTok is where all the content is, and YouTube isn't like giving people views, and like views have dropped and blah 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 blah, and the same with Instagram as well. So I just wanted to quickly mention that, because I have seen like a lot of people saying like, oh well, YouTube creators don't make enough content anymore, so people aren't checking YouTube or whatever. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm still going to be here on YouTube. I'm personally not a massive TikTok fan. I am not on TikTok. I have a TikTok account for work, and that is the only time that I use TikTok. I do not love short form video content. It's not my jam. I have always liked YouTube. I spend all my time when I'm watching video content watching YouTube videos, and that has not changed. So I will still be here for the people who want the long form content. But yeah, I would love to know like your thoughts. Are you watching more TikTok? Because I mean, my views haven't dropped massively, but I don't have really high views on YouTube anyway, so I have seen like peaks and troughs in my YouTube views over the years, and it probably is a bit lower, on the lower end at the moment, but it's not anything that's like that abnormal for my channel. Like I say, I do go through peaks and troughs, and I know that I am not the most consistent uploader, so I normally put it down to, well, I'm not uploading for 6 weeks to 8 weeks, so therefore obviously my views are going to drop. But yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on that. Are you a TikTok fan? Do you watch more TikTok than YouTube these days? Just interested to hear your views. But that is it for this video. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope there wasn't too rambly about the wedding, but yeah, like I say, now that I have that off my chest and you know everything that's been going on and all of this stuff that's been like happening behind the scenes, I am excited to get into some autumn content maybe. I think it's right around the corner. I'm hoping to do some like, yeah, some nice autumn makeup tutorials coming up soon. So let me know what you would like to see down below. So yeah, thank you for watching again. I hope you are doing well and taking care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.